Welcome to the Pam QA Cropping Overview. As you can see, the program has icons across the top of the screen taking you to various sections of the program. The first icon is what we call the Paddock Diary. This sorts the data into year, month and day records. So you can click on any particular day and on the right hand side you see what happened on that actual day. You can double click on any of those items to get the detail behind the record. The second icon shows the same data in a paddock view. So this is sorted by year, farm and paddock. So when you click on a paddock, it brings up all the details that have happened on that paddock for the season. You can also jump between seasons and pull up the record for the same paddock for various years. On the bottom left hand corner you get your income and expenditure and net per hectare. The third icon is what we call the Paddock Budget screen. What this allows you to do is enter your proposed cropping program or paddock program for the year ahead. Now let's go and enter in a chemical application, for example. In May we're going to do a chemical application and machinery operation. We can pick either a crop or a paddock to apply the records to. So if I'm going to spray all the wheat paddocks, I can click on wheat and select all the wheat paddocks. We can then go through and enter water rate, tank volume, ground speed, what nozzles to use and what pressure to run at. And then down the bottom we can enter which chemicals we want to apply. So if we want Roundup Extra, we've got 0.85 litres as the default application rate, which we can override at any time, and that works out the total quantity required to spray the area selected. We can add additional chemicals. And we've got this as a default of 2% of the water rate, which has come in. You can also save entered chemicals as a mix. We could call that knockdown. So we can use that in the future as well. The next button takes you on to the second step, which is choosing what machine was used. In this case we have a machine called spraying, and we can record the number of hours we think it will take, and we have costs in the system already at $3.50 a hectare, which gives us a total cost of doing the job. Simply a case then of hitting the finish button, and that records that activity against all those blocks. Some of the other activities you can carry out is crop monitoring, pest and disease monitoring, fertilizer application, fodder production, harvest delivery, harvest production, irrigation, machinery operations, manual tasks, seeding and planting, straw production, sundry items consumed and weed counts. That list can be tailored to suit your needs. If you don't do any hay production or straw production, those sections of the program can be switched off. Here's the job we just stuck in May. You can pull out a report of items required for the current budget, which gives you a list of fertilizers, chemicals and seed that is required. When it comes time to do the job, you can simply convert the budgeted items into a plan or straight across into an actual. If you convert it into a plan, it comes up and you can alter any of the details, either the chemical applications or how it was getting put on, and then hit the convert button. That ticks it off in their budget and puts it into your actuals. In the Paddock season summary screen, you can see the items in red are plans, the items in black are events that have actually been carried out. When it is time to do this job, you can produce worksheet reports such as this, which give you what's going out, what areas are to be treated, the chemicals going on, the rates, the amount per full tank, the amount for the job. Batch numbers can be recorded on this sheet along with any weather conditions. When the job's actually been done, it's simply a case of highlighting it and hit on the convert button. You can then record start and stop times, alter any chemical rates. You can say who did the job and how many hours it took them. And then convert the job. You'll notice then that the red writing turns into black writing and the costs are associated with the overall paddock costs. As well as converting budget items to plans and plans to actual, you can enter straight into the Paddock Diary. As you can see, the list is very similar to what's used in the budget screen, so you can choose any of these items to enter records for. So when you choose an item, you can either put in an actual or a planned, or if there's a multi-client version for consultants, they can put in recommendations as well. Choose the date, the season it relates to, and what activities are going to go on. Then click on the next button, choose the crops or the paddocks, choose the fertilizer, put in the rate, it calculates the total units, you can record batch numbers, etc. Hit the next button, you've got the machinery operation, how are we going to put it on, we can record the number of hours if we wish, say who we plan to get to do the job, and hit the finish button. I actually did that in 2006. So there's our lime spreading. If I just go back to our paddock activities diary for a moment, you can see here we've got a lot of records for each season. If we're looking for something in particular, we can filter those jobs. So if we just want to look at chemical applications, we can turn everything else off, just choose chemical applications, and it will only show the days that we applied chemicals. To turn the filter off, simply go back in and choose all, and all records show again. This icon here is for lab test results, so we've got soil tests, leaf tests, water tests and nutrient tests. Under the soil tests, you can record any number of sites per day, per paddock, per year. So there's no limit to the number of records you record, and it's simply a case of feeding in the data alongside the headings. If you get the data in a CSV format, you can import that. Rainfall records are kept on a daily or monthly basis, and it will calculate long-term averages and decile ranges. You can also produce reports or graphs based on that information. You can do crop reports or paddock reports. Crop reports sort everything into crop variety order, and you can get annual crop summaries, crop gross margin reports, chemical reports, crop monitoring, crop rotation, yields, and so on. There are some 500 odd reports in PAM, so you should find a report that suits your needs. Let's have a look at the gross margin report, for example. We can have these ranked in dollars per hectare. So if we looked at 2004, for example, and generate the report, that will list up the crop, variety, farm, paddock, season, area, and so on, and the net dollars per hectare. And we've ranked them from the highest returning paddock to the lowest returning paddock. Once you have a report on the screen, you can add it to your favourites and give it a name. You can export it out to a file, either a PDF, comma separated file, Excel file, text, or various other formats for including in reports. You can also email a report. Under the paddock reports, you can get paddock statistics, chemical reports, herbicide resistance reports, manual tasks, machinery operations, paddock gross margins, soil and leaf tests, labour reports. There's actually an inventory system in PAM which allows you to keep track of chemicals, fertilisers and sundry items on hand and records their consumption as well. You can pull out rainfall graphs and reports. There's a series of quality assurance reports. You can search notes for keywords, and you can also print out data collection forms. That is a quick overview of the cropping side of the program. You can have a look at the other overviews for livestock and for the mapping section. Thank you.